My name is Bryan Berg, and I hold the Guinness World Record for the world's tallest house of cards and the Guinness World Record for the world's largest house of cards, all freestanding. My grandfather was a bit of a card player, and he would always build a small house of cards between card games. And I was always really captivated by anything that required some sort of assembly. So that took my interest, and I got a bit obsessed. And when I was clear back in grade school, I completely nerded out and captured my first Guinness World Record at that time, and that was 1992. I don't even know officially how many times I've broken my Guinness World Record, but it's probably 8 or 10 times, I think. Over time, the bar keeps getting raised a bit for every kind of project that I do. The cards have a tendency to warp a bit when it's really, really wet or really, really dry, and that deformation in their geometry actually causes things to not want to work the way that I want them to. It's a bit drier here than I anticipated. It does cause my cards to warp a surprising amount, and it really, really makes my life very difficult. I do have problems some days, some days are really hard actually. I'm at the end of the day, I just am in a terrible mood because, card stacking just didn't go very well. It's a small miracle, but I have actually never totally wiped out any of my projects. As soon as I go into the area where I'm working, I have to turn on a whole different part of my brain that is normally and quite apparently absent in my daily life, because I'm the first person who will trip, I'm the first person who will spill my drink, things like that. But when I'm stacking cards, I don't know why that is, but I have to be very diligent about those kinds of precautions. Otherwise, I think every day I would have a major catastrophe. All of my work, or 90% of it, is based on kind of my repertoire, which is like a series of components that I know how to make or that I'm comfortable making. And so every time I build something or I get asked to build something, I have to kind of go through in my head and think, okay, what units that I prefer to make would I use to make something that looks like this or that. Having this be my day job, the good side of it is that I've done a lot of traveling. I've been many places. I've worked for all kinds of people and companies, been a part of some really exciting campaigns and projects. Sometimes the traveling can get a little rough when you're away from home for a month or 2 or 3 at a time. There's a time when you just want your own bed and your own kitchen and things like that. But my wife travels with me, and it makes it nice that the two of us are able to go together, so we're not apart for days or weeks or months on end. So we just kind of uproot our life and go wherever the card stacking takes us, and each time it's an adventure, and I guess I really can't complain. I mostly do my work in the sense that I hope that people will look at what I do and think, oh, I thought that was impossible, and then think that maybe there's other things out there that we perceive as being totally impossible but would actually be very possible. So it's an honor to be the Guinness World Record holder, and it's been a huge part of my life. I've actually held the record now for 20 years this spring, which is more than half of my life. So it's been a part of my life for almost as long as I can remember, I guess.